Well, since Jake is still absent, we are going to go ahead and go along with Chris's compliment of the week. Take it away, Chris.
I've changed the segment. It's not Chris's compliment anymore. It's Chris is angry.
Oh.
Chris is angry tonight. I read.
That changed quick.
It sort of. I thought I could go about this two different ways. A lot of you guys might not know, but the Ohio High School Hockey Championship game for high school ended in a tie after 7 overtimes. Sort of one thing which stood out to me was that all the teams wanted to go back on the ice. The players, even though they were struggling physically, wanted a winner. I know St. Ignatius was on the ice for the beginning of that 8th overtime, but the coaches decided that in the interest of the players' safety, that they were not going to continue the game and were going to end it in a tie, which I don't think should happen in high school sports.
That's excessive.
Well, in sports in general, just games shouldn't end in ties, especially state championship finals. Sort of, you can't have 2 winners. I know the national high school rules say no shootouts, but I feel like in that circumstance that someone should make an exception. I know if you make one exception, you need to look at the rules. But for teams to have 7 overtimes and then both teams win, I feel was a bit ridiculous. Sort of, but then the other side is sort of they played really well and good sportsmanship that both teams won.
If you want to know ridiculous, there was a league back in my hometown that did play with the shootout rule. It wasn't a high school game like these kids, but once it had gone into a shootout and they had gone through a certain number of guys and there still wasn't a winner, they'd flip a coin. That's ridiculous. This is also ridiculous. I think it's really excessive. These are kids, Chris. They're high schoolers.
I think it's ridiculous that they left it at a tie. I mean, when I played high school sports, during the regular season, we would finish our softball games with a tie if there was a tie. But whenever we would play in, the district playoffs and the state playoffs, no, you never ended in a tie. You've always had to have a winner. I mean, my sophomore year of high school, we were playing for our division championship, and we played for 14 innings, and it was a 3-hour and 45-minute game until someone finally won.
Well, I know that the record for high school overtimes is 11, played by Minneapolis South and Thief River Falls in Minnesota. So there's some 75-year-old men tonight and over the weekend that are just shaking their heads. Sort of, it worked back in 1955. Why not continue it in 2014? But that's very interesting, and I feel like that the shootout rules will be looked at now for high school because you have a lot of frustrated players and coaches. Never without a win.
Yeah, I know. I think it's kind of ridiculous they don't have shootouts in high school because personally, when I watch NHL games and a game goes to a shootout, I love it. I think it kind of hypes it up a little bit more, and your adrenaline's pumping a little bit more because it's a one-on-one at that point. So it's something that I think that they're going to have to look into, especially since 7 overtimes wasn't even the record breaker. I can't even imagine playing 11 overtimes.
There should be a shootout rule because I that's 7, 11, anywhere in between 5. That's an excessive amount of overtimes. Like, take it into a shootout. Is there a reason that it doesn't go into a shootout in high school rules? Am I in the dark here?
Well, the crazy thing is that Northview's goalie had 77 saves, where the St. Ignatius goalie only had 31 shots. So I think Northview might have been happy that they got away with a tie, but at the same time, sort of David Marshall was their goaltender, kept the minute for 7 overtime periods. I don't see why he couldn't do it for a couple more.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but 77 saves, how cool is that going to look on a, professional athlete or, any kind of a sports resume or whatever? So, I mean, at least he's got that going for him. The game when we played 14 innings, I went 4 for 7 on the night, and I've never been able to say that since then.
And everyone, that is Katie's irrelevant stat of the night, that she went 4 for 7 in high school softball.
Wow.
Ouch.
So
Thanks,
that's Chris's rant of the week right there.
Oh, wow.
Well, hopefully
Thank you.
Jake will be back here next week and can maybe mediate in between the 3 of us with his rant segment. But thank you for tuning in tonight. We are the Power Play on WDSR. I'm Daisy Ruth.
I'm Katie Zach.
I'm Chris Stockdale.
And we will see you